Hello and welcome back to the London project. My name's Nebman and I am your host. This is London, the London that we've been rebuilding and connecting up to Great Britain. As you can see, we've got a lovely view of the city from our looking over these train tracks here, but this is the current London that we have. It's got a few landmarks. It's not trying to be one-to-one realistic, but it's just giving it a London sort of theme with a Transport Fever 2 vibe. But it is looking fantastic. I think it looks really, really good. We've got a few nice things going on here. So nice buildings, assets, buses, all of those various good things. This is very busy down here. We've got some famous landmarks as well, like Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament, Tower Bridge, and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. So in this video, I'd like to kind of redevelop the rest of the area a little bit. So obviously we've started building out that bit, but we'd quite like to try to redesign or redevelop some of these areas as well, so it doesn't look too silly, which I think that we're going to make a start on. It will involve a lot of destroying buildings and then replacing our own. We've got a couple of cool mods. A couple of these are kind of the house drawer, which will draw houses and certain things along roads that we need. Also got a few more assets and stuff to place down, so that'll be good fun. We're going to start with destroying these industrial buildings because we don't want them. They look so ugly, and the fact that they're next to Buckingham Palace is not good news. But our mates are still here guarding it, keeping it safe. So I'm going to start by destroying these houses and then go from there. But it's not the flattest area back here, so I'm just going to adjust it slightly by trying to flatten it out a bit, just to make our life a little bit easier when we're building. Just so that it's somewhat flat, and then we can go from there. Is that also on a hill? It's on a slight hill, but nothing too horrendous. So we smooth that connection out and then just do that. That should make our life just that little bit easier when we're trying to build. And we'll just grab a few more streets. We're going to look at connecting these back up in a similar way that they were before. For some reason that's really a lot steeper. I don't know why that's such a large difference. We'll just pull it back a little bit and then see what we can do to smoothen that out to make it a little bit more natural as such. So to give you a look at the new mod that I downloaded, essentially we've got these different style of houses here, which essentially you can draw a line and they'll place down a lot quicker and easier than they normally would, which saves a lot of time, but they come in various types. You can get them really long like that, space them out. Different types of houses, some of these are more UK than others, like these ones, a couple of modern ones here. And various other houses. These are kind of just the normal in-game ones. So there are quite a few different options, which I'm sure will look pretty decent. I think they'll look quite cool. It'll just, well, I mean, it'll definitely look better than some dodgy factories, to be fair. But yeah, so we essentially want to place some of these down. I'm just thinking, kind of, oh, that's curved. Why curved, bruh? I think we want to start off with some. I don't know why it's curving. I wasn't doing that a minute ago. That's being normal. I don't know what's going on here. That looks pretty trash anyway. We kind of want it to face this way, yeah, like that. And we'll start off with a couple of bigger flats buildings on this side, and then on the other side we'll probably use smaller houses and stuff like that, just to kind of break it up ever so slightly. Again, I don't know why it's suddenly deciding that it wants to be strange, because it definitely was not doing that a minute ago. How bizarre. What on earth is this guy doing? Luca Walker, are you alright, bro? Did I pause the game when you were mid-slipping over? That's crazy. What on earth is going on there with you? What a bizarre thing. I don't know why when I zoom it out that does what it's doing like that though. That's very bizarre. Not sure what's going on there. but something isn't right. Anyway, either way, I think I'm going to ignore this bit for a second because it's not going out along how I'd like it to. We're going to focus on this sort of area over here, and we're just going to, I don't know if we can actually just drag it across. Can, but it's just slightly too far away from the road. That looks like a more reasonable distance. And then these little houses are just kind of sat along the road ever so slightly, just set back with some nice front gardens. So I'm just trying to make these fit. It looks alright now that we've put a little street in the middle with some trees. The only issue is I think we're going to have the AI going crazy and trying to build over them, which is going to become a bit of a nightmare, to be completely honest with you. So we're essentially going to have to think about what we're going to do here. It could be the case that we use by the plot, which essentially stops AI from building, but the problem is that we're going to have to replace all of these trees, as you can see from where we place our plot. It basically covers off the land and stops the AI from building. So we might have to just cover off some of these tree spaces and then replace our trees manually, but with collision off, so that they actually place down. So I think we're going to do that first of all. Let's place some of these down like that, then go to our trees again. We're going to have to turn collision, skip collision, see if we can just place a few trees along here. Unfortunately, when we have collision off, they do go a little bit crazy, which is the annoying thing. But also we need to remember that this game is actually not a city builder game, it's a transport game, so what I'm trying to do is not natural for the game. But it looks well, it looks good, it looks really well, despite the restrictions. So there are a few trees down that road now. It's seen better days, I'm not going to lie, but it's there and it works, and we have our British style smaller houses just along the side there. I'm not overly keen about these, especially the fact that they grow and shrink every 2 seconds every time I'm trying to move them around. But I mean, these houses look okay, to be fair. They're not too bad. I don't know why that does that. So we might try and continue with the theme along here and see how we get on. I've decided to place a British style fire station down on this corner here, just because why not? I think we need a fire station. I think it will look cool. We just need to cover off some of the spots that we have taken, just to make sure that AI don't decide to build all over it, which is the only issue that we have. But if we just cover off that and then we add a couple of trees just into the corners like so, it could actually work out in the end. A few of those there. I mean, it's not the best tree placement in the world, but it will certainly do. Cover off that ever so slightly. And then we have a small British style fire station just on the edge here. It's slightly raised up because we need a flat working area for the chaps when they're doing their training in the tower. But nevertheless, that is a fire station for us. We've added a few of these brick style houses along this section here, just to kind of keep the British sort of theme going. A bit of trees adds a little bit of depth and vegetation to it, which looks good. And then we need to fill in this gap here. I'm thinking potentially we should go with, to be fair, I might go with these ones again, and use those across here. I've worked out that if you hold C, then these work a little bit better. That's the wrong way though, isn't it? Yes. Drag it from this way. A little bit closer. Just about there to there. Gives us enough clearance, and then do the same over here. It's not quite right. I think that's the wrong way again, isn't it? Yeah, so we've got to drag it from the other side this time. It's a little bit too far. And a little bit too far. It's quite fiddly, but once you get there, it's okay. Drag that across there. And then that will again be replaced with some blockages to stop the AI from going crazy. We'll just build a couple of these across here, stop the AI from losing its mind, and then just fill in the gaps again with some trees just to make it look a little bit nicer. And we need to do the same kind of here. I'm probably going to use the same sort of buildings. So just drag it a tiny bit closer, just like this. And then draw the same ones just across there. That one's a little bit too far away. We want to bring that in just so slightly closer. Do that here. Just make it near enough straight. Nothing is straight in Britain, so it doesn't matter too much. And then once again, nice and simple, fill in the gaps. Stop the AI from going crazy, building all over us. I can't actually see where it's going, but it doesn't matter too much because it gets covered up with these trees anyway. And voila! And we have a few British buildings placed down over here, which actually look a lot better. Although these like driveway sections look a bit weird, I think that looks far better than it was to begin with. That looks pretty cool actually, now that I look a little bit closer. It just adds a little bit more customization and uniqueness to the town. I like that. I think we're going to probably continue this around this area, so destroy these buildings here and then start building out a little bit more, just to try and continue that theme across the city. Alright, so we've spent a lot of money just bulldozing essentially everything that was here. We're going to try and fill this with some different types of buildings, some different residential, maybe a few commercial buildings here and there. I think we're going to start off down this end. That is a busy bus stop, holy moly. We're going to try and pick out some decent buildings to place down here, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've built a supermarket on this roundabout because it kind of makes sense because it's easy to get to because it's on the roundabout, just with a few car parking spaces that I've placed down manually. Along this section I just began by placing some of these UK commercial assets just along here next to the train station because it makes sense to have the train station, people come off and can access the shops pretty easily. Same with over here, I just put a few of the similar sort of assets just on this corner. We still need to fill in obviously the spaces and decorate it a bit, but we have made a little bit of progress and I really like this supermarket. I think that's a very good job, well done. So I'm just trying to do a little bit to try and modernise this section here. So obviously we've got this roundabout with this lovely landmark, and we've placed down this nice curved building at the edge of the roundabout so you get a nice sort of view as you're passing through this main road. Added another sort of modernised building, looks like a park and ride sort of area, but it's got some offices in it as well. And then a couple of other buildings attached to the end of that, just for this kind of commercial sort of area. Obviously we've got this bit here as well, which we've already discussed. Along this section I've just added one single building here and then a couple buildings on the back of here, just to bulk it out a little bit. We're going to look at filling in this space and maybe these spaces with a few more offices, and then once we've done that we'll look at maybe residentialising this section up here. So I'll keep browsing through my assets and see what good stuff that we can come up with, but nevertheless it's already looking a lot better than the factories that were here before. Okay, so we've done our outline of commercial that we need down this straight bit of road here. And just like that. I think that looks okay to me. It's it's good enough. I don't see any issues with it. It certainly looks smarter than it was before. Now I think we just need to do some residential now. Just pop some residential down and start filling in the space that we've got here. So we'll start with that and go from there. Hopefully fill this out, and then it will look a lot smarter than it did before. So I've added a few houses, so different types of houses. We've got these UK style semi-detached or detached houses that run along these little roads. We've got some of these ugly looking ones, no offence if you like them, but I think they're personally quite ugly. Got these ones, your standard basic ones here, a couple of brick ones knocking about as well, with a bit of greenery between them. These brick ones technically have some very small gardens with some fences, so we've added a few of those in, but essentially the same sort of thing throughout. At the back we've got some houses and neighbourhoods now. And I think personally this area, although it does look very griddy, I understand that, and London is not a grid road layout, I do still think that it looks better than it did with all of those factories, etc. It looks a little bit more British with these houses here, so personally I think we've done a good job. I think we've upgraded this. I think it looks nice. I don't see any major problems with it just yet. I'm sure when I start the simulation there'll be a couple of assets and AI that break through and start building where I don't want them to build, but it is what it is. I like this road opposite the main station, this big road that has access to all of the shops and supermarkets, commercial buildings. I think that looks quite cool. Gives you kind of city vibes, which is nice. Same with down here, the big commercial buildings, lots of people walking. It gives you sort of, yeah, just the shopping district vibes. Then you go into the old town over here with all of the old buildings and landmarks, etc. Looking through the arch, you can see Buckingham Palace. If you're lucky enough to have a house that looks onto Buckingham Palace, fair enough. But like I said, this is entirely fictional. We're not trying to make London one for one. We're just having fun with the assets that we have access to. But I think that looks quite cool, in my opinion. I think we've done quite well there. Obviously, the London theme sort of breaks out a bit once we cross over this railway line, because we've just got random assets there. We can think about what we're going to do with that, as well as we've got loads of space here as well for some stuff. I'm not sure what we're going to do just yet with that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I've been working on trying to resolve a lot of the traffic problems, and if we turn on what we can see here, you'll notice that there are now lots of bus routes in certain cities. So in Sheffield we've upgraded the bus routes massively. And we've actually changed all of the roads to bus lanes only, so that they only can use buses, because they were using all of this. Cars driving everywhere and it's chaos. The same with Leeds, we've got loads of bus stops now, which has reduced the traffic in Manchester too, which is good. Shrewsbury is full of buses. We've revitalised Birmingham's bus routes, which is good. Oxford's still the same. Reading is slightly more, but not too much. Bournemouth now has lots of bus routes, same as Brighton, that's been expanded quite a bit. Canterbury is somewhat similar. If we go down to Exeter and Plymouth, we've also added bus routes there, which is wonderful to see. We've got a few people waiting at the boats, 130 waiting at that one. And what about this one? 21. So there are a few people using it. Bristol, Cardiff and Swansea now also have bus routes around them. A couple of people waiting there, which is good to see. Shrewsbury bus routes have been implemented, and this is Llangefni, which is just gradually expanding towards the end. Got a few people waiting there, not a massive amount. In regards to Liverpool Port, we've got a decent chunk of people, to be fair, waiting. Not too bad at all. And the airport, standard amount there. The train station, we've got quite a few people waiting, which is good to see. If we go over to Belfast, We'll see that there's a few people waiting, not loads. The bus station is getting a bit busier, which is good. And the airport, it's just standard doing airport things. Quite busy with a lot of planes at the moment, it seems though. This guy's about to full send it off. Head to, where are you heading to? It's going to London. Look at all that money it's making though, holy moly. It's got 136 people on it, that's going to make loads of cash. Belfast is definitely building out quite a lot now, as you can see. All of this space that we built originally is starting to fill out, which is good to see. We like to see that. We like to see the progress of the work that we've done, which is looking splendid. One of you mentioned about a road that goes from Northern Ireland into Scotland. It's not quite connected the whole way, so yeah, not quite. That would be a big old bridge. Dublin is doing okay. We've got quite a few people wanting to use the ferry out of Dublin, which is nice to see. But there's still a bit of space for it to expand, which is good. Dundalk is just doing Dundalk things, just having loads of traffic and an absolute mess. But yeah, it's all coming together. It's looking quite good. We've made a lot of progress here and there. It is very, very busy in the stations over in London though. If you're looking closely, you'll see that there's absolutely loads of people waiting here. Oh, loads of people waiting at the airport one as well. What have we got? We've only got 3 buses. Maybe we should add, to be fair, we probably should just duplicate them because there's so many people waiting. At King's Cross Station, we've got loads of people. Absolutely loads. Is that 2,000? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is so many people. And we've got 2 trains on it as well. Where are you, train? To be fair, it's not that long, to be fair. We might be able to... Let's adjust this line. Let's have a look at the line and see what we can do, because that's crazy. We'll manage the vehicles on here and see what we can do. So that's 640 capacity. Can we change you to a better vehicle with a higher capacity is the question. That's not got a higher capacity. That's not any higher. 470 per one here. How long are you? 220. There are 2 vehicles to replace. So if we... Oh no. Placing train. That'll up our capacity quite a bit, to be honest with you, if we bought... We need to buy 2 of them. There are 2 vehicles to be replaced. So if I just purchase that, is that gonna... Yeah, it just replaces them both, but that ups our capacity quite substantially. So hopefully that will help us out a bit. Let's just have a look. Oh, he's underground. Where are you? Oh yeah, just coming out of there now. Hopefully he's not going to be too long for the King's Cross train station though. Go on mate, get a move on, otherwise you're never going to get anywhere. What is going on now? I think I clicked into it and clicked on a person. So let's just try and find where you're going to come in at. I've got a bad feeling that he's going to be a little bit too long for the platform. Which platform are we looking at? Yeah, you might just be slightly too long. I mean, it could borrow that platform if it wanted to. I think we'll just have to cross that bridge when it comes to it. Let's see what happens when it arrives, and we'll go from there. I mean, yeah, this train is far too long for the platform, but that is an issue for another day, I think, because my game is about to blow up. But nevertheless, we've made some progress. We've made a nicer looking London, with this area being developed ever so slightly. So we're pleased with the progress we've made. It's looking far more British now. All is good. Like always, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to like the video and subscribe if you're new here, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.